Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Nick, and we're back with the Bible Quarantine TBQ Resource Edition. Now, every night we are getting in the Word with a new voice, and every night we are being inspired by a new resource, a way that we can fall in love with Scripture more, which is the goal of Year of the Bible, is that we would be in the Word, that we would love it, that we would share it, that this year would be your year of the Bible. In other words, the year in your life when the Bible became foundational for every part of life. And so tonight we are so excited to be featuring the Move Closer app. Move Closer is a digital resource. You've heard about it on the Bible Quarantine before, but tonight we're blessed to have one of the leaders of this app sharing and helping us grow and learn and love the Word and move closer to Jesus and the world around us. Check this out.
Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Nick Brandt. I'm coming at you from my house in Austin, Texas. It's so good to see you and kind of show up on your digital screen today. So wherever you are, I hope this finds you well. I have the joy of getting to work with Pulse up in Minneapolis and in Austin and all around the country as a senior event director. I also have the joy of being an evangelist and getting to tell people about the greatest person I know, my best friend, Jesus. He is an amazing guy. And I want to tell you just a little bit about an app that I am helping direct and curate right now called the Move Closer app. If you have the App Store, man, I just encourage you, pause this video for a second, go to the App Store and download the Move Closer app. This is our beginning to enter into this conversation about how one generation can begin to disciple their generation. So can you imagine a couple of your friends getting them together, pulling them together, and beginning to disciple each other and walk through the relationship with Christ and with each other and help each other grow not only in their faith, but in the ability to make disciples. Move Closer is all about that. It's our effort to take an ordinary moment and turn ordinary moments with people that you love into an extraordinary moment with the supernatural presence of God involved. So if you have 2 or 3 friends, if you have a phone, which you should if you're watching this right now on your phone, just go download it right now. Check out the Move Closer app. There are a bunch of albums and content that's been uploaded from some of our favorite teachers and people like Francis Chan, Jesus Culture, great organizations and websites like the Bible Project. And you'll be able to navigate, not only just navigate content with 2 or 3 friends, but you'll be able to do it in close community where you're able to discuss and walk through so much of a relationship and growth together as you're guided through some conversation and some content to help each other grow. Check it out today. It's the Move Closer app. But maybe the last thing I want to tell you about today is just some scripture that's really impacting me right now. I've been reading the Gospel of John over again, and I usually read it once a year. It's my favorite gospel. It is an incredible, incredible gospel. And in that, I was reading about Jesus coming to the wedding at Cana. And what's remarkable about him showing up at the wedding at Cana is one, it says that Jesus never had done a miracle up until this point. So can you imagine that? God from the universe comes down into us flesh right here, and he, for 30 years, doesn't perform a miracle. Now, I don't know if that just like hits you at all like it hits me, but that means for 30 years, he didn't perform a miracle. And God of the universe, who loved us so much, came and put on flesh, and for 30 years put his divinity aside to live in our humanity and know what it was like to navigate this world and the hurt and the pain and the joy and the celebration of what it means to be a human. And that's what Jesus did. And so he had never, it says in the scripture here in John chapter 2, performed a miracle before. And so, man, I don't know what it was like. First of all, I think it's really cool that Jesus actually shows up to a party. Jesus is like at the party. He rolls up with his boys. His mom's there too. So I don't know if that's really normal or what, but I don't really invite my mom always to the party, but he did, and he got invited. And I just think to myself, you know, what is it like? Can you imagine even being this couple who invited Jesus to their wedding? Who was this couple? And they would never be the same. They would never be the same because that night was a really incredible celebration, and they ran out of this wine during the wedding. And I love it because moms do this. They come to their sons and they tell them, hey, I think you really should do this. And Mama Mary comes to Jesus and says to him, hey boy, I think you should really go and help these people out. You should do something about this. And so I don't know why, if Jesus never performed a miracle, why Mary thought that he was gonna do something and able to do something. Maybe she just knew he was compassionate. Maybe she knew that he was kind. Maybe she knew that he wouldn't want to see these people get put to shame at their party because they ran out of wine. And Jesus does this great thing. He goes to these servants, and check this out. He tells the servants to go and take the water to the ceremonial head, the person, the waiter, that was leading the ceremony. He tells them, go scoop it from there and take water to him and tell him to taste it. And I don't know what these servants think. I don't know if they think Jesus is crazy or what, but he does this. These servants do it. They go and they get the water and they take it and they walk over. And the head waiter drinks the water and says, oh my gosh, this water is not water. It is wine. It's not just water, it is wine. It's the greatest wine. And he tells the bride and the bridegroom, you have saved the greatest wine for later in the wedding. And the groom gets all of this honor and all of this praise and all this recognition. And I love it. I mean, Jesus is just kind of showing some love to this guy that was in trouble. And I was thinking about this, and I was just thinking about his life. And I thought, man, one, how cool is it that Jesus showed up to a party? And then I think number two, how cool is it that he shows up in the seemingly unimportant places? You're like, the place that he did his very first miracle was at some guy's wedding. And so maybe you out there think, I'm not that important. Well, I don't know the name of this bridegroom or this bride, but I know that Jesus showed up to their party. I know that they invited him in and they wanted him near. And when he got there, he shows up to the seemingly unimportant places and he takes care of those people who think they are seemingly unimportant. And he does the miraculous. He can do that today in your life too. He sees you and he loves you, and he gets there, and not only does he get there and enjoy the party, but he exchanges this groom's shame of running out of wine for honor. I love it. Everybody starts going, dude, this guy's the best. He brought the best wine out and he saved it until the end. And that's the story of Jesus. The story of Jesus is that he exchanges our shame and our potential shame for great honor, because he ends up giving his life and evolving and out of this normal world, and he brings the kingdom into this world, and he eradicates sin from this world, and he exchanges all of our sin for honor. It says this actually in Isaiah 61:7. It says, instead of shame, my people will have a double portion. Instead of humiliation, they will rejoice in their share, and they will inherit a double portion. He's saying that the Messiah is gonna come, Isaiah said, and he's gonna exchange all shame, all humiliation for honor. That's what Jesus does. He shows up to the people who think they're not important. He exchanges their shame for honor, and I love it. He gives them the best when he does it. He doesn't give them the just mediocre wine. There's no table wine here. No, Jesus gives his best. He gives them the abundant, and he sets the stage for ordinary servants to do and be part of miraculous things. That's who God is. He shows up. He cares about you. He exchanges your shame for honor. He gives you the best in the abundance. He is a giver, not a taker. And he then wants to use you, servant of God, today to set the stage for him to do the miracle. Check it out, John chapter 2. It's one of my favorite. And while you're at it, download the Move Closer app. Call a few friends. It'll be great. You'll never regret having done it and growing closer, moving closer to Christ. It's great to see you. I hope you guys end up having a wonderful day.